Hi, I'm joined today by Ruth Wildman from Colton Care, Avon Reach Nursing Home, who's kindly agreed to answer some of my questions that I get faced with when people are wondering about whether they need care or not. Mm-hmm. So thanks very much, Ruth, for giving me your time this morning. So how long have you been involved in the care business?
In this home, 2 years,
Right.
but for Colton Care, 6 years.
Wow.
Previously to that in a private nursing home, and previously to that community nursing.
Okay, great, wonderful. So you're a healthcare professional.
I am.
Great. So the things I'm always asked about it from families, or if people are considering what happens, it's a real concern as they get older, do we need care, is how do we find a good nursing home?
Yeah, you can go on the website, carehome.co.uk, CQC website, who's our inspectors, talk to people, look around. Word of mouth is often the best way.
Great.
And our own website.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'll put links to that on the video and for the downloads. So there's different care homes, I think, for different things. You know, if people have physical impairments or dementia possible, etc.
Yeah.
So how do they find the right care home for what they need, or how does their family find the right care home?
They'd go and have a look at all of them. And then in our case, we'd go out and do a pre-assessment, and then we could advise if they weren't sure as to which care home would best suit their needs.
Great, great. Okay, that's. And you mentioned that they can come in and have a respite.
When they're looking, they can, if they're not sure, we'll invite them in for lunch, into the activities, or they can do a trial week, stay a week respite to get a feel of the home.
Yeah, fantastic.
And then that helps make the mind up.
Okay, wonderful. And how would they, you know, the other concern that I have from people is that, have we got to sell our house? Are we going to be able to afford it? Mm-hmm. You know, how do they address all those issues, or how do you help them address those issues?
Well, when they come in, we'll talk, their needs depend on how much money they'll get from the FNC, funded nursing care,
right,
and the NHS. So they could get that. They get attendance allowance, depending on their needs again. They may well have to sell their house. But the cost of the nursing home, people sometimes forget they're paying that, but then they're not paying their bills or their household domestic things that they're paying at the moment. So sometimes it's not as expensive as they think.
Right. So it's about getting a plan, I suppose, and really understanding what the numbers are.
And also talking about what's involved in the cost when you go in. Are there any extras? Do they have to pay deposits? All that sort of thing is really important.
Right, right. And you mentioned that kind of website that they can look at for quality care. Yeah. The concern I think you hear in the press, don't you, about poorly run homes and poor care. Yeah. Does that address all that? Does that address those worries?
It does, but you also still need to go and visit to get a feel for the place. Go anytime. Don't let them know when you're going. Just turn up and see it for what it is.
Excellent, some wise advice there.
Yeah.
And is there anything else that you think that I haven't asked that you think that you would, you know, if you were advising a family friend or maybe one of your own?
You need to ask about activities.
Right.
Ask about how many nurses are on, how many carers are on, how many extra staff are on, such as activities organisers, social carers, kitchen, everything. Ask about the food. Ask about if visitors can come whenever they want to. Pets are quite important to some people. Can pets visit? Just anything they do at home, just mention in the nursing home as to whether they can carry on, because it should be person-centred around that, what they want.
Great, great, excellent. Some wise advice there. So Ruth, around the financial issues, how do people find out what help they can get from the state, and then also how that they match that into their own circumstances?
Yeah. Well, they can contact the Department of Work and Pensions, and they can advise on attendance allowance, things like that. The funded nursing care part we apply for. So if they were coming in, we would apply for that, and then that's down to the NHS. But once we've assessed them as needing nursing, although that's not guaranteed, it usually is right. There's also continuing healthcare funding that they can apply for, but that's usually with complex needs, not on an everyday.
Great, great, excellent.
There's lots of charities as well that will help. Soldiers, sailors and Air Force.
Right.
And also the British Legion has been known to help.
Right.
So there's lots of help out there.
Great. And it's definitely worthwhile talking to you people about the different avenues, because of course many people would not know that all these facilities are available to them, and think they'd have to maybe rely on their own resources. So great. So thank you very much for joining me this morning, and I'm sure that our viewers will get great benefit from your tips. Thank you.
Thank you.